Feels good to be outside, man, you know? And on this channel, it's the Corey Lanier channel, guys. Welcome back. Today, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about how to edit Lumix Photos. And I specifically didn't say like what type of camera. I didn't say the Lumix G7 or Lumix S5 or anything like that, because this process pretty much applies to pretty much all of the Lumix digital cameras. If you wanna be able to edit photos on your iPhone, then keep watching, because this is the video for you guys. Okay, guys. Just in case you're not aware of what I'm doing right now, I have my camera set up on like a little mini tripod. I have it pointed up at like a little bit of an angle to catch me being able to do these pull-ups and stuff right now in this pull-up bar. And I'm going to be controlling my camera with my phone. So if you're not aware of exactly how to do that, hit the link right now that's popping up at the top of the screen so you guys can be able to understand how to control your camera with your phone. And that'll help you out with the next step. So take a few pictures of yourself working out, and then when you're done, you're going to drop the images to your phone, and then you'll be able to have some content on your phone to pull up in Lightroom so you can be able to edit it. Let me just say that I am way heavier than what I remember. Jeez, like I used to knock out like 14, 15, shoot. And on a good day, like 17 pull-ups. Now I'm like struggling to do 3. Yeah, I need to lose some weight, either that or just get stronger. All right, so I feel like I just did a nice little quick workout. Now it's time to go back to the table, get in the shade so I can see my phone, really see the details of what I took pictures of, and start editing. Okay guys, so I'm back after that quick little workout to get my blood flowing, and now it's time to actually go ahead and edit the photos that you took, that you did wirelessly and remotely on your phone. Man, my breath is gone, so give me a second. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and go over to Lightroom, and the first thing you want to do is hit this bottom right corner, this little like picture with a plus sign in the bottom right corner. Hit that. So, and then go to your camera roll, which is where all your photos that you just took and downloaded from your camera should be. Once again, if you don't know how to do this, I do have a video about how to control your camera with your phone. But to kind of put it in a nutshell, you basically need an app, which is a Panasonic app. You have to turn the Wi-Fi on your camera and then connect it, and then you can start controlling your camera and downloading images. Now the next step would be is to hit the top right corner where the 3 dots are, go to select mode so you can select more than one. So I'm going to select all the raw images that I took. I purposely skipped over the top right one because it was really a video. I might play around with editing that on my phone later. So then I hit add, and now the photos should start coming up in my 9 photos successfully added. So I'm going to go to all photos, and it should be in here somewhere. I think towards the top is the newest ones. Okay, so now that the photos are here at the top, all you have to do is click on one of them. I clicked the first top left one because I just like to edit in order. I mean, I know this photo is obviously very underexposed, but I'm gonna play with it. I'm also gonna show you the power of Lightroom. I'm kind of glad this photo is underexposed, because I can show you how you can really bring photos like this back, especially when you think that you messed up. Okay, so I do have presets, but I'm not gonna use those presets. I'm gonna edit completely live for you guys. So let's go straight over to the light category. I'm gonna hit light. It's gonna bring up another little menu underneath here. And obviously the exposure is low, but I kinda wanna keep it that way for a second because I wanna see how many shadows I can bring back. So I'm gonna bring the shadows up a little bit. Doesn't really seem to be helping too much. So now I wanna go ahead and go to the exposure and keep bringing those up as I go, and it does seem to be helping. I think I'm gonna stop around an extra stop 85. That's pretty good. Not gonna really tweak the contrast right now. I'm gonna play with the highlights. Usually I bring them down to bring the details back, but since it was already underexposed so low, I don't really have to bring those highlights down. So actually I'm gonna bring some of those back. Bring it to about like -4. The whites, usually you want to, like, you know, slightly tweak the whites too, bring them down just a little bit, a smidge. The blacks, I'm gonna leave them where they are. Usually want to bump those up too, just a little bit. Just say the whites and the black, you don't really usually do an extreme edit on those, like pushing them up or down. Usually you kind of maybe just like go up maybe 10 at the most or down 10 at the most, because the blacks and whites are pretty extreme. So that's all oh, I think I messed them up. So that's all I'm gonna do with the light section. Now I'm gonna go to color. Now I did shoot these photos in a color profile called Decent I Like. which basically kind of takes away some of the saturation and contrast a little, not a lot, but a little bit, enough to kind of play with the colors later. I usually leave the descending light on for video, but I kind of played around and left it on for photos one time, just like I did today. And I like also bringing the colors back after I shoot like that, because it also kind of lets me see some more detail as well, in my opinion. So I think the white balance is pretty straight. I did already balance up for a daylight in the camera, so I'm gonna leave the temperature, color temperature alone, but I am gonna bump up the vibrance a little, kind of a bit, because I want those blues to pop. I like the blue and the actual little push-up bar and the sky and everything. That was pretty cool. I popped the blues pretty heavy. Also, my blue cars in the background. I didn't realize how much blue was in this photo until I actually just bumped that up, actually. So then I'm also, now real quick, I want to tell you guys the difference between like vibrance and saturation. Vibrance and saturation are pretty much the same thing. They both control how strong the colors and hues are. But the main difference is with the vibrance, it kind of tries to help save like skin tones a lot. It works with skin tones a lot better, where it pretty much leaves those alone. Colors that are close to the skin tone area, but the colors that are more further away, when you push up the vibrance, it makes all those other colors pop, which is why the blues pop so heavy in the sky and the car and everything around me, and my skin didn't become like super orangey or red. Okay, so I'm going to effects. I used to do this thing called like vignetting a little bit. Like I'm gonna show you guys what happens when I bring it down, but I kind of feel like that's like an old look. I don't really use vignetting anymore. It kind of reminds me of like 2010, so I'm gonna zero that back out. But the clarity knob is like that extra thing that kind of just makes your pictures just pop a little bit. But the problem is people have been using clarity way too much when it comes to like editing photos. So I used to bring it up like way up here like this, you know, like 60s, 50s. And even though that might look kind of cool, depending on what your style is, my style isn't like that as much anymore. And especially after working with a lot of clients who would see the photos and they would be like, oh, it's cool, but it's a little too like. And so I started realizing it was because I was using the clarity knob too much. So now I just use it just a little bit, just a smidget to kind of make the color, to kind of bring the details up a little bit. Dehaze is usually for like when you have like maybe like a flare or something looks kind of foggy because of the way the light is hitting the lens, or maybe the way the light's coming to the lens because of like something distorting it and causing it to have a haze effect. Usually what that basically means is it's hard for like the dark areas to really be dark the way they're supposed to be. So what the haze does is basically brings all the blacks back down to a actual true black color the more you bring it up. But as I go down, there's not really too many other things else I would change. I guess I'll go to the details tab. I never really touch the sharpening. I pretty much leave it how it is. Noise reduction, I used to use that depending on if I felt like, I took pictures and it's like dark outside and I had to really lower the ISO to the point to where it gains all throughout the photo. I usually kind of maybe would use the noise just a little bit to try to take away some of that noise, but it's all good. But not in this photo. It's a bright day outside, no clouds or anything like that, so there shouldn't be any issues. And that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it for just like editing a pretty basic photo and having it pop. So, and that's pretty much it for editing a basic photo. So now when you're done with the photo and you have all the things that you want to, and you've edited all the things and tweaked it the way you want to tweak it, that's when you hit this little box with an arrow pointing up here. So you can now export it to your camera roll, or you could share it or send it directly to somebody from the app, but I like to save it in my camera roll so later on I can be able to choose what I want to do with it, whether I want to send it the way I want to send it. So here's another feature of Lightroom that made Lightroom one of my favorite apps to use, or pretty much my hands down the favorite app to use for me to be able to edit photos, is the fact that you have this feature, pretty much a copying, this feature where you copy this. You have this feature where you copy the settings. So in the top right where the three dots are, hit that again, and then you can go to copy settings, just tap it, and it'll show you all the different settings you want to copy. Pretty much the default is usually a good default, so I'm just going to hit the check mark, and now the settings have been copied. And the cool thing about this is now if I swipe to the right and I see my next photo that's up and ready, and that one just so happens to be underexposed as well, I know that when I hit these three dots and go to now paste settings, which is now an available choice, I hit it and boom, all the settings from the last photo are now automatically applied to this one. Now you may still need to tweak the new photo whenever you paste it because sometimes maybe the sun may not be as bright in one photo as it is in another, because maybe it's just later in the day, or maybe there's some clouds in the way, or maybe you went inside or you're outside. So you may need to tweak the photo as you go, but in this scenario, I think I'm pretty good. So I'm going to cycle through a couple of my photos and just keep pasting, because I know it was all pretty much taken around the same time of day. I don't like this photo because it's not composed good enough, so I'm going to skip that one. I was still trying to use how. There's like people, I guess, cleaning the park today. I don't know what's going on. But this one's okay as well, so I'm gonna hit the 3 dots and paste the settings. Boom. And that's pretty much it, man. All these other ones are pretty basic. Okay. So now I'm gonna save all those photos that I just edited and export those as well. So now, okay, so now I also want to show you something else. I know I showed you guys how to export one photo, but if you've applied all the edits to all those photos now you can go back and select multiple photos by I hit the back button, and then I went to the 3 dots in the top right menu, and then now there's a new menu where it says I can select photos. So I'm gonna hit that, and now I should be able to select multiple photos. So I'm gonna do that now. Just gonna select all the ones that I know I edited, and then I hit share, which was located in the bottom right corner. Now I want to hit export to camera roll. When I hit that, it's now going to send all those photos that I just edited, that I also selected, to my camera roll, and boom. And boom, I just edited some photos in Lightroom without ever even having to actually go home. I just did it right here all on my phone. You guys just seen it. There's someone dropping off a tractor here in the park. Hopefully you guys liked this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I think I might still go to the gym. I mean, it was cool to come outside and work out today, but I feel like I'm a little limited on some of the workouts I want to do, so I'm probably going to still hit the gym. And once again, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been consistently watching this channel and consistently subscribing, telling your friends about it, sending it to your kids. You know, I try to keep this channel as clean as possible, and but I'm also looking to have fun as well. So hopefully I hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, because I would like to possibly start monetizing my efforts, so I can start traveling and doing way more cool stuff on this channel for you guys, and teaching you more and more of the things that I've learned over my 10+ years of being a videographer. All right, guys, with that said, keep aiming for the top, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.